hello, and welcome. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness. I am an author, speaker, teacher, seminar leader, podcaster, videographer, whatever you wish. However, on this show, I talk about how to expand your world of thought, exploring the world of positive thinking, the law of attraction, and consciousness from many points of view. I intend to share with you information that will enlighten and empower you in your life. I am here to encourage you to think in the positive and show you that miracles can happen because I truly believe you have been given the power of the word and thought to create the life that you desire. Wow. Welcome back or welcome to the show. If you're new to the show and you like what you hear and you want to hear more, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload some new information. This channel is really eclectic alchemy, but this series is my series on manifesting, and you can always go to the playlist to find the information that you desire. I just finished, while I'm working, you'll be getting a series for Florence Scovel's Shin that you can find in the playlist. We do Napoleon Hill and Neville Goddard and a number of others. Also, I'd like you to know that there are people who are actually putting into their life the things that are necessary in order to create the life that they want. And so there is also one where I read stories from people who have actually manifested things in their life. And when they shared how they did it, I talked about that too. So now we're working with Catherine Ponder. Now, Catherine Ponder has a ton of books, but I decided to start with the one that I worked with and was given many years ago. Somebody said, Bev, you got to read this. And so I'm sharing this with you. Now, Catherine Ponder was born on Valentine's Day in 1927, and she was an American minister and founder of the Unity Church worldwide, and it's also affiliated with the Unity Church. Honestly, she is the author of many, many, many New Thought books, and they are mainly focused on the theme of prosperity. So I'll be sharing with you in the next series from her book, The Prosperity Secrets of the Ages. And I'll be sure to put a link to the book on Amazon in the notes. And yes, if you use the link, I'll get a little tiny something from Amazon for directing you to her books or anything else that's down in the show notes for links. So, Catherine, she is mainly Bible-based. All right, now I know some of you who listen are like, the Bible, blah, blah, blah. But trust me when I tell you that the Bible, when used as an allegory and you take information as lessons, there are a ton of secrets. And I don't want to call them secrets anymore. There's a ton of information and things that you can do in order to create the life that you want. One of the things that I've found as I read many, many authors, that there is a theme that goes through all of them. And Catherine Ponder has stated one thing for me that I'm going to share with you. When you rule your mind, you rule your world. Let me say that again. When you rule your mind, you rule your world. When you choose your thoughts, you choose your results. And I think truly that your thoughts are your greatest power. You know, it's like the little choo-choo train that we've seen trying to go up the hill. You know, I can't do it. And then that hill is so steep. I don't know if I can get up that hill. Okay, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And as he continues to think that it could, right, it just kept going up the hill, going up the hill, going up the hill, till it finally hit the crest and it was on a downhill roll, right? And it got to the next hill and it said, I know I can, I know I can. And when you think about yourself and the thoughts that you have and how they have served you, whether in the positive or in the negative, then I want you to look at that and say, when I had doubts of what I could do, it became very difficult. But if I persevered, I was able to get through it and do it. Maybe sometimes it's not to the best of your ability, but you got it done. And if you had to do it again, it was much easier. Catherine Ponder uses stories from the Bible to illustrate success attitudes and principles that you and I can use to change our circumstances. Honestly, as I read her things and read things about her and talk to people who have read other books by her, she truly believes that biblical characters and their stories are filled with success attitudes. So yes, over a series of videos and podcasts, I will share with you many of her insights into these principles of success. And as I mentioned just a little bit ago, I have found that many of the authors of success, law of attraction, they overlap, even if they don't share it in the same way. But Catherine shares that the Bible is the greatest textbook on prosperity ever written. So you may not believe this, but as we go through her book, The Prosperity Secrets of the Ages, and I'm not going to read from the chapters like I did with Florence Scovel Shinn, but I'm going to go through quite a bit, and I'm going to go by chapters in the book. So do you desire success? I think you do, because you're here. Is it curiosity? Is it because you want to learn more? Are you skeptical and have had a hard time in your life? Well, manifesting what you want or desire is as easy as Catherine says. When you change your mind, you rule your world. When you choose your thoughts, you choose your results. So whatever your reason for being here, welcome to my channel. Be sure again to like and subscribe, and please go through the process of sharing, because the more people that hear this, the better they are. So, let me tell you, I'm going to read a story from Catherine. And it's about a man who was reared in lavish abundance. And I'm going to read this to you. A Great Man's Success Secrets. She says, in this book, I wish to share with you the secrets of one of the most successful men who ever lived. He was a man reared in lavish abundance, who went about in fine garments, who received a royal education and who was instructed in all the secret teachings of ancient Egyptians. His sublime strength, faith, and leadership shaped the course of the world. Historians have written that he took one of the greatest steps toward true freedom that the world has ever known. All humanity has been infinitely blessed by his unique achievements. You can be too. His accomplishments include author, prophet, emancipator, lawgiver, warrior, and miracle worker. He was considered a shrewd mathematician and was the inventor of boats, engines, instruments of war, and hydraulics. He was also considered the author of Egyptian hieroglyphics. He told off the most powerful and dangerous political leader of his age and then rescued some 2 million people from the clutches of slavery and annihilation. Have you figured out who this person is yet? Remember, she takes her information and her examples from the Bible. It should have been a hint when it said, then rescued some 2 million people from the clutches of slavery and annihilation. If you have guessed Moses, you are correct. His success secrets? They are to be found in the first 5 books of the Bible, she said. Those books are loaded with success attitudes that reveal the prosperity secrets of the ages, but rarely, if ever, have the writings of Moses been understood or interpreted from that standpoint. And she said, I wish to share with you some of his major success secrets found in the book of Genesis. So she'll be doing this in some other chapters as I read on, right? She goes on to say this. The word Genesis means to begin, to initiate action, to take the first step, to get something going. Wow. Something going. So the Bible is filled with these powerful allegories. The first act of which is easy to do under most circumstances and can be hard when you feel you are wronged. And so I'm giving you the very first act that you can do in order to start your way of changing your mind and changing your life. And this is what she calls an ancient secrets for happy living. And this is the art of blessing. I know, God, many times we have looked at things and we've gone, okay, with the southern, well, bless their heart, and that's being negative when most people says, bless their little heart, right? And so that can happen. Blessing someone or something is the ultimate act of blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord raise his countenance upon you and give you peace. And you can look that one up. If you go to BibleGateway.com and just say, may the Lord bless you and keep you. When I used to attend the church, and we would find that, and it was a song that we sing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace and give you peace. And I know I'm off key. Anyway, that was one of the things that we closed the service with, was that. And so, bless. The act of blessing was the Hebrews' favorite method of prayer. In there, one of the stories was about someone who stole the blessing, right? He stole the blessing. Jacob felt that a blessing was so desirable that he even stole the blessing which his father intended to bestow upon his brother Esau. The dictionary explains, to bless means to make holy or whole by spoken words. To bless means to ask divine favor for some situation or condition. To bless means to wish a person or situation well. To bless means to make happy or prosperous. To bless means to gladden, glorify, or praise. We may look at it and just say it's to bring forth good in a situation, a condition, or a personality. When you go about and bless someone, it's to bless is to judge not according to appearances, but to judge according to right judgment. That of beholding the good and thereby bringing it forth in a condition or person, says Catherine. So don't condemn. Work to not condemn. So she gives an example of blessing. A message saved a woman's marriage. Another example she gave of a woman actually blessing the other woman, and she blessed that other woman right out of the life. But as I read the story, I realized that not only was her attitude, like in the very beginning, right? The way you think, your thoughts, rules your world. You choose your thoughts, you choose your results. So I'm going to go ahead and read this story for you and see if you see what I see when I talk about she not only was blessing her marriage and blessing the other woman, but she changed as she changed her attitude and her thoughts. And the title of this section is Bless the Other Woman. An irate housewife had the other woman problem in her marriage. She had been to several ministers, counselors, lawyers, relatives, neighbors, telling them how terrible it was to have a husband who had become interested in another woman. As she had continued to berate her husband and the other woman, the situation only got worse. Now just think about that, how you feel. I don't know if any of you had a situation where you felt you were betrayed, and how you began to treat that other person, or you didn't talk to them, or you didn't do things for them. Just think about that, right? So the situation only got worse. Catherine goes on to say, when she finally found her way to me, I explained that all of her critical talk and bids for sympathy were only intensifying the very situation she wanted to be free from. I suggested she get very quiet, stop talking to anyone about the situation, and start blessing her marriage and the other woman. If she truly loved her husband, she could bless the other woman right out of her marriage, provided she was willing to stop condemning her. I further explained that the other woman is not a cause. Let me say that. The other woman is not a cause, but an effect of an unhappy marriage. If the marriage was all it should have been, no third party could have influenced it in any way. Her job was to go within herself, get rid of her critical, cynical, unpleasant attitudes, to start praising her husband for his good points rather than condemning him for his weak ones. To start treating him as though nothing had ever happened, and to resume her normal activities as though there was no problem in her marriage. So, not only was she doing the blessing, but Catherine advised her to act like everything is wonderful and treat her husband well. Praising sometimes I had a hard time praising the little things he did. Did he take out the garbage? Thank you, honey. Did he do the dishes? Thank you. Did he come home or call you and said, I'm on my way home, let's go do so-and-so? Yes. Little things, whatever they are. He picked up his socks. Thank you. Right? I'm being a little facetious, but I think you understand what I'm saying. When her relatives and friends asked for the latest news on the subject for their private entertainment, people love to hear the bad stuff. It was a big challenge for this woman to stop talking about how terrible her husband and the other woman were, and start declaring that everything was fine again. However, as she began the daily act of blessing her marriage, her husband, and the other woman, as she began resuming club, church, and civic activities as though everything was fine, people began to think so. She began. Okay, I lost my spot. She again provided a beautiful home, wonderful meals, and a harmonious, appreciative atmosphere for her husband. See, changing your attitude about how you're treating people. You start doing things like you used to do them. He began to spend more and more evenings at home rather than rushing off after dinner or never coming home from work at all. In due time, the other woman had been blessed right out of the picture. They have also done something they tried for many years to do without success. They have adopted a child with whom they are very happy. This woman is now using the blessing method to help rear this baby into a healthy, happy child. Now, some of you may listen to this and go, well, this doesn't work for everybody. So I had another example, which isn't in this book, but somewhere else, where the woman blessed the marriage and blessed that whatever is necessary within the marriage. So the highest outcome for everyone concerned. Okay? And what happened is the marriage ended. And then what happened or occurred was that the woman, in this case, wound up being with the perfect mate. So sometimes it's not the continuation. Sometimes it has to end. Sometimes the highest and best good for everyone is not what you expected or what you thought you wanted. So in this case, her marriage was repaired. I'll put it that way. In the other case, the marriage ended, but she wound up in a place that she never imagined herself, and happier than she's ever been. So bless a thing. The power of blessing is an amazing thing, and I'm continuing to read from her for a little bit. Statements of blessing. Begin now to bless and praise everything and everyone that comes into your life. It is just as easy to bless and praise as it is to condemn and complain. When you condemn and complain, you intensify the very unpleasant conditions you wish to be rid of. By blessing such conditions, you take the power of evil out of them and turn on the power of good that is there. A statement of blessing that she has often used is this: I bless you, and bless you for the goodness of God that is within you. This is a particularly powerful thought to hold for blessing and changing troublesome people. It will take the sting out of the unhappy situations and turn on the power of good to declare for them. I begin now to bless everything that comes into my life as good, good, good. Well, thank you for being with me today. I encourage you to get the book and follow along with me. And this one was Chapter 2, An Ancient Secret for Happy Living. And there's quite a few examples of how blessing a thing turned into things that helped a person. So bless every situation. And I'm going to tell you this, at the very last paragraph, she says, as Paul advised, bless and curse not. And this is in Romans 12:14. Never underestimate this ancient secret for happy living. It is a simple but powerful way to release great good into your life, and it will work to improve every phase of your world if you will invoke it. Bless them. Again, thank you for being with me. Like, subscribe, and share. And be sure to hit the bell. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness. And as you have believed, let it be done to you. And it is so.